to the Monday, March the 3rd, 2025 meeting of the Montpelier Design Review Committee. We'll let the attendees introduce themselves. Go ahead, Meredith.
Meredith Crandall, staff.
Stephen Everett, member.
Liz Pritchett, member.
Martha Smirsky, member.
Eric, you go ahead.
Oh, Eric Gilbertson, member.
Okay. At this point, we'll let Meredith review the remote meeting procedures and process.
Okay. I think you've seen this before, Tim, so. All right, so. Here we go. Awesome, that should show. Yes, it does. Fabulous. So for anyone viewing tonight's Design Review Committee meeting via Orca Media, you can participate in tonight's discussion via the Zoom platform through either video or telephone access options. If you want the full interactive experience, then you can put this link into your web browser, and it should bring you into the meeting. I'll get a little notification to let you in. Alternatively, you can dial this phone number and when prompted, put in this meeting ID. And again, I'll get a notification to let you into the meeting. If anyone is trying to get into the meeting and has problems, please email me at mcrandall@montpelier-vt.org. I will be monitoring my email throughout the meeting. For those attending via Zoom, turning your video on is optional. And for everyone attending, please keep your microphone on mute when you're not speaking. This will help reduce background noise. And note that the Zoom chat function should only be used for troubleshooting or logistics questions. In the event the public is unable to access tonight's meeting, it will need to be continued to a time and place certain, and I would get notification of that through my email. Thank you very much, and I'll hand this back over to the chair.
At this point, do I hear a motion to approve the agenda from any of the members?
So moved, says Eric.
And this is Martha. I'll second it.
All in favor of the agenda, speak your names.
Eric.
Martha.
Yes.
And Stephen. So the agenda is approved. We can move forward to the first applicant for 141 Main Street. I gather Tim is here remotely.
Yes.
Yes.
Describe your application for the window. Thank you.
It's really simple. It's to replace a window that was originally in that location when the building was built. And it's a window that matches all the other buildings that are like it in the building. So it's a very simple piece. I think when the building was built, it didn't have an elevator, and a year or two after it was built, Dad put an elevator in. And when the elevator went in, that's why that window was covered, because that's where the mechanical space was. Since the flood in 23, we've moved all the mechanicals for the elevator up to another location on the third floor. And so we're able to put a window back into that space. It's really kind of solving an old problem.
It's the lower space.
It's the entire opening will be a new double hung window. Just like the windows beside it. I don't know if you have another photo that may show. Yeah, so it'd be just like that one next door.
There's two windows in the picture, and I wonder if you're doing both of them. The one's got the.
We're just doing the bottom one with the plywood in it, Eric, with the patch and the plywood.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
Me too.
Okay. I can run through the criteria list for the project. Excuse me. Exterior design and materials of new construction or alterations of existing buildings shall be consistent and compatible with the characteristics of the existing building or other properties in the district. Additions and alterations to non-historic and non-contributing, that doesn't apply here. The window is acceptable in this building at this location. Existing buildings shall be recognized as a physical record of their time, place, and use. Acceptable. Proportion, compatibility of relationship between width and height of facades as well as relationship of width to height of windows and doors are acceptable. Rhythm, visual patterns established by the alterations of solid walls and openings in the facade of buildings shall create a rhythm acceptable. Architectural features, including but not limited to cornices, windows, shutters, fan lights, entablature, trim, and other forms of molding or character defining detailing prevailing on the existing building, shall be considered in the alteration of a building acceptable. And all in favor of the application, speak your names.
Eric,
This is Martha. I say yes.
Yes.
And Steve says yes, so it's approved 4-0 in favor.
So, Tim, we'll get these permits ready for you as soon as possible. I don't know when Michelle's going to be back in the office because she got hit with some sort of bug this weekend. And because this requires a building permit too, I think, right? Because they're putting a window in. I want to make sure I get you both those permits at the same time.
Thanks.
So do you want us to just email you when they're ready to be picked up so we don't have to rely on the mail?
Yeah, that'd be great. Could say
Okay.
2 weeks.
Yeah, it should be pretty quick. But yeah, we'll let you know when they're available. And it should be, hopefully it'll be this week. At worst case, it would probably be next week.
Yeah, it's this cold weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be nice for you to be able to get the zoning notice up though and just get through the 15-day appeal period, all that fun stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Thank you,
Good
Tim.
night.
Bye.
Okay, we can move forward to the next application for 134 Berry Street. Nina Thompson and Sylvia Fagan regarding landscape revisions.
Yes, come on up there.
Have a seat and describe your project.
And I can
for us.
share screen
and
with the
such?
photos and stuff that you
Okay.
sent in the application. It's already been circulated to everybody.
Okay.
But I also share screen and share it up there, so
Okay, great.
yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, so we are applying to remove 8 old cedar trees that are in front of our house and replace them with 8 different trees, 7 of which would be juniper, and 1 Japanese maple in front of our home. And that is pretty much what we're applying to do. Do I need to say more?
If you just make sure, for the record, like, because the minutes will be done by a recording secretary who listens to the audio, who you were since you were talking. And then
Oh,
if you start
yeah, sorry.
talking, you know,
My name is Sylvia Fagan. I am
okay.
one of the homeowners at 134 Berry Street, and my wife.
Nina Thompson, the other homeowner,
Thanks.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
but Sylvia was talking first. Just for the record.
Perfect. No, sorry, I didn't give you guys a prep when you came in.
That's okay. I guess it would make sense if folks want to see it to put the pictures up to explain why we're doing this.
Yeah. I was trying not to like scroll through the 30 pages to
Yeah,
get there.
yeah.
Makes everybody dizzy.
I think the other picture is probably, there's one other picture that's a direct shot that's probably a little, there you go. Yep. So there's our house, and you can see on the left a big bare patch of ground and some trees that are bare on the bottom. And then on the right side, trees are not bare on the bottom. Last year, I guess, maybe it was in the spring, the city came through and cleared any branches that would hit the sidewalk plow. And so that's what created that big bare spot there. The trees form a screen, and without the bottom of the trees, we don't have the screen. So we want to take all these out and put up matching trees that will grow more vertically and create another privacy screen. It's going to take a few years for them to grow in, but that's the goal.
Is the Japanese maple being planted closest to the driveway, or where is that in the?
Exactly. At the end, yep, over there, just for a little pop of color, but also it'll provide a different kind of screen to the entrance to the home, which you can't see from this angle, but it'll provide a rounder, more fuller screen to the side entrance.
Yeah, just for anybody, there's a set of stairs here where the
Yep.
little hand is, and it goes up, and there's an entrance here, as well as an entrance here.
Yep.
And so I had talked with Sylvia in the fall about having something deciduous here. That also that way, you know, in the winter the leaves will fall off. It'll still be screening, but there'll also be a little bit better view in the winter when you need it.
Right.
And I'll scroll down. This is what will be what's proposed for most of the screening. And then Japanese maple on the corner.
Will the junipers go in just about the same place as the cedars are now?
More or less, yeah. We'll depend on our arborist to figure out exact placement, but approximately the same line. We don't want to come any further down really because of erosion on that hill. So they'll be in approximately the same line, maybe not in exactly the same place because we're gonna have to grind some stumps, but it should be approximately the same. Oh yeah, and there's a pipe on the far side that we have to work through work around. So when we get there, he'll have to kind of do the exact placement, but ideally it'll be approximately on the same line.
My concern was about erosion, where it looks like it's such a bare spot. But if you put the trees back in pretty much the same spot, you're going to be at least addressing that problem.
Yeah, and since the photo was taken, we did seed that hill with grass, so it doesn't, hopefully it's not going to look like that when the snow melts. We did have some grass there by the time fall came last year, so, but we're definitely wanting to protect from erosion there because last summer we did have some erosion on that hill when the flooding happened.
I bet. Yeah, I bet.
Question, if you have a lot deer that come in and eat your foliage, do they like to see? I know they like cedar, but maybe you don't have a problem with them where you are.
No, we have a big problem with them, and they do come down around the front, and that's why we picked the Blue Point juniper. First of all, it's very easy maintenance-wise. It'll grow, and it doesn't have to be maintained. I mean, it doesn't have to be trimmed or anything, and it'll get to a height we like, and it's also deer-resistant. And many things are not. Yeah.
Okay.
So we
I've had all kinds of trouble with different types of fir trees. The only thing I could find would be a blue spruce that the deer didn't like. But I don't know about the juniper. So if you've checked on that, then maybe you're fine.
The Blue Point juniper, yeah, that was a big consideration for us. Yeah.
Okay, good. I just didn't want you to spend a lot of money and then have the deer come and eat them up.
There were a lot of other trees we liked, but they were not deer resistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Okay, good.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any other questions or comments?
Looks good to me. I just let the deer prune the trees around our house.
Yeah.
Well, they
Again,
tried to come to Easter dinner at my house.
Yeah, they ate my Christmas wreath this year.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, lovely.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, about half of it. It looked so silly I had to take it down.
tough winter.
Yeah.
I can read through the criteria for all projects. Again, exterior design and materials of new construction or alterations of existing buildings shall be consistent and compatible with the characteristics of the existing building or other properties in the district. Number 3 is proposed landscaping shall be compatible with the neighborhood and the site on which the project's located. That's acceptable.
There's not a whole lot that applies to this
Yes.
project, but it did come up.
Number 16, landscaping, screening, and site furnishings within the design review overlay district and subject to the landscaping requirements in section 3203 shall consider the following. Does site furnishings including fencing, seating, other types of site furniture does not apply. Does landscaping obscure or undermine key architectural patterns or elements on historic buildings? And for historic structures, existing historic and contributing resources such as street trees, fences, gates, walls, steps, gazebos, walkways, front and side yard patterns shall be retained or restored when impacted by the alteration of a building. Walls and fences shall be compatible with the site and the building and scaled traditional materials, design, that reflects the period of the building or is compatible with the surrounding context acceptable. All in favor of the application, speak your names.
Eric,
This is Martha. I say yes.
Oh, Liz was a yes. It was
Okay.
just the sound
And-
didn't catch up.
Stephen says yes, so it's approved, 4 in favor.
Great.
I'm not in the office tomorrow, but I should be able to get this issued Wednesday.
Okay, and you'll
So-
just email it?
Well, you'll need, there's a hard copy.
Okay.
Because you have to post a notice. So I can mail it to you if you're not in a hurry.
I don't think we're starting in the next week.
Okay.
No, we're-
And then, yeah, if you guys, since you're here, if you could sign this, that
Sure.
would be great,
Do
even
we
though there's
both
no
sign it, or
changes.
can
Yeah,
she sign
either
it?
one.
Either
Yep,
one.
Either one of you can sign it. You're both on
Just
the
right below
application.
my
Great.
name there.
I would just like to say thank you, Meredith, for walking us through this whole project because there was a lot and you made it really easy. So thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad.
Do we stick around? Are we done?
No, you're all set.
Okay. Thank you both.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Good luck with your project.
Good luck with the deer
Yes.
and the grass
And the slope.
and slope.
Grass on the slope.
We're like leaning on over to the sidewalk, and so then when the plow would go by, they would get stuck.
They gave a haircut to 3 out of 7.
Maybe some of the like creeping thyme or something under there too that is low growing and you don't really need to mow. But it's, yeah, look into some of those.
If you can find a ground cover that deer hate, that would really be a good one to put
Yeah.
underneath your
Yeah, I don't know if deer like thyme or not, so check that one out.
Good night. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes from the January 6th meeting?
Yeah, I did, and I would make a motion to accept them the way they are.
second,
All in favor of accepting the minutes, speak your names.
Eric,
Martha?
Stephen,
Liz, I didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry, Liz, yes.
okay,
Awesome.
minutes are approved. Does anyone have any other business? If not, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
so moved.
And I'll second it. This is Martha.
All in favor of adjournment, speak your names.
Eric,
Martha?
Liz?
And Stephen, meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming.